in the book you mentioned is Allah saying that you gave your heart to somebody else. Why did you do that? My question is, for us murids, our heart to our shaykh, when there's other desires or some things that we want, that we are in love with, is it saying we are giving our hearts to those things instead of giving to our shaykh or our Lord?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. The heart is the most important. Okay? Let's say your heart is known as the throne of Allah, right? If you're a king, the throne is the most important. Someone gets the throne, is finished. But he has a whole kingdom. In his kingdom is very huge. He can give land, he can give riches, he can give power, but he cannot give his throne. And everything that he gives also, it is to make his kingdom to become greater, one way or another. So even when he gives, it is to make the kingdom greater. This is when taqwa is very important. Taqwa is something that you are going to understand and feel every moment. Taqwa is what? Awareness of Allah. Awareness with ikhlas, to live your life, to do everything knowing as if you see Allah. And if you don't see Allah, to know that Allah is seeing you. Taqwa is important. Taqwa is the most important in Islam and in Tasawwuf. To be aware and to go according to that pleasure of Allah. Not to be aware of Allah and to do complete opposite. Not to be aware of Allah and to do as your ego likes again. No. To be aware of Allah means to be aware also of His pleasure. What He likes and what He doesn't like. Everyone is assigned. The Quran is saying everyone is assigned Shariat, and everyone is also given a tariqat. It's easy for us to understand this because we have a shaykh. You don't know how to become more aware, you don't know how to. This is why we are here, to learn. So the heart, it is something else. Weakness is something else. Failure like this or like that is something else. The king may lose a battle, but he's not losing his throne. The king may lose his land, but he's not losing his throne. He may lose his power, but he's not losing his throne. The throne, you're still ruling. The king is still ruling. You understand? How do you know if the king is still in power when he still functions as a king from his throne? You cannot say he still has his throne, he still has his power, but the enemies are overrunning everything. They're deciding, buying and selling, they're deciding everything. He's just sitting there like a puppet. Then he's not ruling. In that way, his throne is also lost. The king must rule. The king is very aware that he is a king. So we have a heart. And Allah says, what's wrong with you? Why are you giving it to someone else? What is that meaning, giving it to someone else? What is that heart? What is your heart? Look into your heart. What are you busy with? What is occupying your heart? Everybody knows what it feels like to be in love. Everybody knows. Allah has given that to a believer and unbeliever. Everybody knows. You know the sensation of being in love. You know the different kinds of love too. Loving father, mother, a child, woman, man. Even if it's loving your job, you know what it is. No one can ever say, I don't know what it means. To be in love means you're always looking at it. You like it. You want to spend more time. You're always talking to it, thinking about it. Can't wait to be close to it if you are separated. Don't like to be separated. Yes? I'm putting it very simple so people can understand. Even if you are young and you love your goldfish, keep thinking about it. You can't wait to go home and just to look at your goldfish. Yes? Or you love a sports. You can't wait. And you want to be around people who also love that. Then the love becomes even more sweet. Everybody knows that. Can anyone say, I don't know what you're talking about? Now, if you know those sensations, those feelings, then look at yourself every day. Look at yourself once a week. And ask yourself, today, what am I doing to pull Allah's love to me? Leave aside asking yourself if you love Allah. Leave that aside. That may be very difficult because the ego is so huge. But ask yourself, what did I do today to pull Allah's love to me? To make Allah to love me more. What did I do today? Then check your activities. Did you wake up thinking about your Lord? Wanting to please Him? Like this or like that? I'm not talking about passion yet. Then when opportunity comes for you, in front of you, to be able to do something that Allah will love you more, are you running to it? There are two things. Either you're going to do things to help others, helping yourself, meaning, or you're going to not to do things to yourself or to others to pull the pleasure of Allah. One is to do good things that you must do. One is bad things you must stop yourself from. Yes? Why are you not doing this bad thing? I cannot because Allah doesn't like it. That bad thing, wrong thing, backbiting, gossiping, you like to do it to know you're not pulling Allah's love. You're pulling His anger. You want to do it, but you're stopping yourself. You're checking yourself. Why? Because Allah doesn't love it. That time you're pulling Allah's love. That time you are burning yourself. You're burning the ego. You're not waiting until Judgment Day for Allah to burn it. You are burning it yourself. The ego is, I want to do it. It says, no, you're not going to. And you feel it. But you're going to say, no, I'm not going to. Then that we're talking about the heart. You understand? The most important thing. So when you fail, you quickly wake up daily. When you're weak, we quickly wake up. You know when you're weak and when you fail, you know that you're not making excuses for yourself. It's okay. You know it is wrong. Then you are looking for Allah to be happy with you. You're looking for your Prophet to be happy with you. You are looking, that's why to have a Shaykh is so important. You're looking for your Shaykh to be happy with you. One smile from him is enough. So when you're running for that, you're running to please. We don't really concentrate on Shaykhs these days because people will say it's a cult, people will say this, people will say that. So we say Allah, our Prophet ﷺ. But for those who are intelligent, you know, step by step it comes from the guide that is in front of you. So you're looking to be always in the good books. And some people will say, I don't like this. That means that I have to sell myself out, I have to do this, I have to do that because of a man. Who is that man? That is the Prophet ﷺ. Who is that man? That man is the one that the Prophet has appointed over you. And when you look at it, you feel so bad. You don't want to do it. How many times he's done bad things to you? How many times he has done good things to you? How many times he has been very generous to you? And how many times he has taken things away from you? You will know the answer by yourself. But when you don't want to think, you're afraid to think, Shaitan says, don't think. Shaitan doesn't think. Or he thinks, but in a wrong way. He doesn't think what is in front. He makes conspiracies. He disobey Allah, he make conspiracy. He blames Hazrat Adam, he blames us. He says, because of you. He's not looking at himself. So that people know what it means to be in love. In Tariqat, Shaykh is teaching us how to fall in love with the Prophet and with Allah every day, not to put them aside, because their love is the only thing that is reaching to us. We must return that love. Do you understand? It's simple. Look at yourself. What is concerning me today? What am I busy about today? What am I complaining about? Because I'm not serving enough? Because I'm not helping enough? What am I busy about? Because someone else has done something to me? What am I busy about? My work. My heart is very far away from even thoughts about Allah and His Prophet, my Shaykh. Fix that. All of that is just here. Not even here. You understand? It's not even what you do. It is your intention. You say it is impossible. It's not impossible. You think it is impossible because you don't want it. It's not impossible. Because if you have pain, the pain will be there, whatever action that you do. If you have a headache, the headache will be there. You learn how to deal with it. If you look at the love of Allah and His Prophet as a headache, then it is going to be there. It's not a headache. Then you are going to find ways to remind yourself, to refresh yourself. You may get too busy, something is going to happen. When you're opening your heart like that, they will send more. Something is going to happen, something is going to, you're always going to think. You know, when you're in love, you cannot, it occupies your mind. Occupies your mind. It occupies your heart, it occupies your actions. It does. So ask yourself, am I occupied with that love of Allah, His Prophet and my Shaykh? Or is it empty? Or am I occupied with something else? What is making my breath to change? My heart to beat faster? Ask yourself. You say it is not in the way of haqq, try to change it. Because the reality is, our spirit is only alive because of haqq. It knows where it's coming from. It will beat, it will get excited only from haqq, not from anything else. You understand? That time, everything in its proper place. It doesn't mean you cannot love your father, your mother, your children. You must love them, but in its own place. It's not there. It's not on your throne. You can even have chairs next to the throne. Yes, but it's not on the throne. You may even have chairs on the throne next to you. Maybe. But like I said, as a king, then everything else has to support the power that you have. Everything else that is sitting there, it has to support the love of Allah that is there. Everything else that is not supporting the love of Allah, you're not going to make them to sit so close. They deserve a chair, yes, but not so close. Put them far away a little bit, because it's going to have a problem. Do you understand? Now, putting everything in its proper maqam, this is marifat. To put everything in its proper maqam, this is hidden knowledge. And this is something that the Ottomans did with genius. For that, you first have to understand yourself, your secret, and then you're going to discover other people's secret, and then you're going to have that authority and that permission then to put that secret in its place properly. You're not going to make them to grind each other, and you're not going to make them to be equal. This one is over there, it's not over here. This kind of understanding is not hidden too. This kind of understanding, if you're a mother, you will understand this. If you're a father, you will understand. When you have children, you understand. This one is like this, it's not like this. This one is like this, it's not like this. You cannot make them to be the same. This one is not good like this, you will try to find something that, there is something good this one can do, this one is bad at, this is something good. You will find them each according to their place. You understand? Most basic. It is in the human capacity to understand this and to do it based on his intelligence. Then you will know what are the signs when you're in love. You in love with something is different. Sometimes you are pretending. But what is real? When you start to love something, what is real? You will start to feel what that one is feeling. You become a part of that one becomes a part of you. You like goldfish, you cannot stop thinking about it. You look at it, you observe it very carefully. The fish is not moving properly, you know, oh, this one is eating too much. You will feel it. When it's suffering, you feel sad. When it's happy, you feel happy. You start to take the reflection. There's a fish that is a company. That is your wife, your husband, your children. What about your Lord? What about your Prophet now? Now, your Shaykh, you start taking the color. The hearts will start being very similar. When your heart start opening, you'll feel. You'll understand. Understand? You go. Why are you over there? Go. Psst. You cannot keep still? Psst. Keep still. Don't move. I just say keep still, you see? Anyway, Fatiha.